Right then, time for us to go to the musician's circle. A1 had their first hit in 1999 with Be the First to Believe. Loads more hits followed, including 2 number 1 singles. Seriously? They won the Brit Award for Best Newcomer, and guess what? They're all back together now. The original 4, Ben, Paul, Christian and Mark, and welcome to the studio, boys.
Hey,
am I right? This is the first time the 4 of you have done anything together for how long?
15 years.
15
Over 15 years. We feel very old now.
Don't even begin to go there with me, young man, because it's just not going to go. And how does it feel to be back, Paul?
It's amazing. It really is nice. Just nice to be around you guys again.
How did it come about?
It was just from just wanting to have a little bit, just to meet up. You were doing Pride, I believe, up in Newcastle.
Yeah, Newcastle Pride, and we invited him up just to come and say hi. And we kind of knew at that point, we were like, we knew our 20th anniversary was coming up, and we thought it'd be really great for the 4 of us to actually get back and do that.
But I don't know if we thought it would actually be possible, and I don't think the fans ever thought it would be possible. But it turned out it is, and here we are.
It's lovely. It really is. It's a good news story. And talking to the fans, there are legions of them all over the world.
They're all sitting outside.
They are. They're sitting on the steps out there. That must be lovely to see.
It really is nice.
Yeah.
We're going out on a little tour in Asia in October, and it's great to see we're still selling out arenas on the other side of the planet, where people still listen to our music, and you can't get a greater compliment as songwriters.
Yeah.
Really.
Well, let's remind people why you're selling it out, because I was listening in rehearsals. Boys, you can do it live, and I love that. It's not just sort of a manufactured sound. It's a really great vocal sound that you have, and good songs. That's the key to it, isn't it? Very good songs.
Well, yeah, thank you. I mean, we've always sort of. I think we were always slightly different from a lot of the other of our peers back in the day, because we were a band that wrote all the songs and played all the instruments and stuff like that. But obviously, it was dressed up in a nice, shiny boy band dance routine.
I will never forget your curtains.
Oh, there you go. I can still grow them.
Can you?
Yeah, I can. I've got a hat on today. It's not because I'm bald. It's because I just didn't fancy doing it.
Do you want to give us a song, and we can talk more in the second hour? What are you going to do for us?
We can do Caught in the Middle.
Oh, I love that one.
Last singles, radio singles.
Yeah,
Take it away,
brilliant.
Chris.
Thank you, guys.
Was just a state of mind, a puzzle made of pieces you can't find. For me, you never really had the time. I was blind, and everything that you meant to me is written in the pages of my history. But it's over now, as far as I can see. Suddenly, things are so different now you're gone. I thought it'd be easy, I was wrong, and now I'm caught in the middle. But even though I'm someone new, all I can think about is you. And now I'm caught in the middle. She brings me brighter days. With thoughts of you, I am my mind always. Like a memory that I can't erase. It's here to stay. Whoa, the things are so different now you're gone. I thought it'd be easy, I was wrong. And now I'm caught in the middle. Even though I'm someone new, all I can think about is you. And now I'm caught in the middle. So different, so easy. But I can't get over you. So different, so easy. But I can't get over you. Things are so different now you're gone. I thought it'd be easy, I was wrong. And now I'm caught in the middle. But even though I'm someone new, all I can think about is you. And now I'm caught in the middle. But things are so different now you're gone. I thought it'd be easy,
is wrong. And now I'm caught in the middle. But even though I'm someone new, all I can think about is you. Yeah. And now I'm caught in the middle.
Oh, boys, fantastic.
Thank you.
How did that feel?
Felt good. That was the first time in
I
over
know.
50. How did it feel, Paul? This is the
It
first time.
felt very, very strange, but it was a beautiful, beautiful thing.
A beautiful moment. A beautiful. Well, I'm very, very honoured that you chose to do it here for us.
Of course.
At Maida Vale. With all the history, you're now part of it. Thanks, I was on. Yeah, did you see what I did? They're in, they're back. Paul, Christian, Mark and Ben. So it's 20th anniversary. Let me move this so I can actually see you. It's 20th anniversary. Heady times, I would imagine. 1999
Yeah.
was the big year.
We're actually always sort of thought as a 90s band, but we really just released our first single in
Yeah, we
99
had a
and the
few
rest
months of being a band in the 90s,
Yeah.
but we're a 90s band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, any kind of acclaim is good, isn't it?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely.
And it was huge. For that 3 years when you were all together was absolutely, you sort of took over, didn't you? Did it change you radically, do you think? Did you learn from it?
Well, Paul became very big-headed, didn't you?
Oh, so big-headed.
Oh, bless it.
Well, not really. I think it's more people around you that change than yourself, because they start treating you differently or thinking that you want to be treated differently.
Yeah.
And then, I was 16 years old and came straight out of school. So all my school friends were still
I
doing...
actually can't imagine that at 16.
It was crazy, yeah.
Yeah.
It was mad. But they were obviously all doing their A-levels and stuff, and I was busy with these guys travelling the world. So
Did you grow up very quickly?
I don't think I've grown up now.
still
I
haven't,
think
yeah.
that's stumped my growth.
We were in a bit of a bubble, to be honest with you. It all just happened very quickly. It's one of those things that you hear a lot of bands say, that it's so nice to have another chance to do it, so we can actually take the time to appreciate it. And looking back, it almost feels like another person. When I see our old videos, Take On Me, and it doesn't feel like it's me. Strangely,
I agree with that.
Yeah, it just feels like this guy on TV. I don't know if you can relate to that. So it's just a weird thing when you watch old videos from back in the day.
I just find it really upsetting.
Yeah.
Time is a cruel mistress. That's all I can tell you about it. So how are you going to celebrate the 20th anniversary? What are you going to do? What are the plans?
Well, I think we're hoping to, obviously come back and do some concerts in the UK. I think a lot of people... We weren't actually going to announce that we were coming back as a four-piece in the UK until next year, but, such is social
Might be
media.
a bit late now.
Yeah, well, I know, exactly. But, we were obviously doing these concerts in Asia, and we obviously had to do some promotion for that. And we weren't going to do a big announcement in the UK till we actually had some dates to announce. But anyway, that sort of, all that plan went out of the window when we did put it on Twitter, and then all the papers started picking up on it. So we're a little bit premature, if I'm honest, with the news of coming back.
We haven't got solid dates. We've got solid plans, not solid dates.
Back in the studio, do more recording?
Absolutely. Later on today, in fact, we've got a new song that we're very excited about.
So this is kind of a warm-up for you then?
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, thank you.
Do you know what we have in common?
Quite a lot,
I think. But here's the thing. We've both come second in the Eurovision Song Contest. Only one of us for Britain, though, may I say. So you represented Norway, didn't you?
Hey, we did, yeah.
Well, we've got to get our Norwegian member to answer this.
I'm Norwegian,
Yes.
and so I don't know how it came about. Actually, I don't remember now. But we ended up entering into the Norwegian Eurovision final, and we came second. And I've actually, because I've written a few songs for Eurovision in Norway before. I've actually come second 4 times now. So I'm hoping one of these days will be number one as well.
You'll be number one.
And we have another thing in common.
We have another thing. I was about to say this because you were the original Marius in Norway.
Well, in 2009, I did Marius in Les Mis in the Norwegian West End production. I did, it's over 100 shows, and it was really good fun. I enjoyed it so much.
Obviously, and did you sing it in Norwegian?
I sang it in Norwegian.
So could you do Empty Chairs and Empty Tables? Now my friends are dead and gone. How does that sound in Norwegian?
Tomme bord og tomme stoler. That means empty chairs and empty tables.
So romantic.
Yeah, it means the same, but it's
It
different
doesn't
words.
sound quite the same.
And it's funny because it's 9 years ago now, and I don't remember most of the words, but I do remember that.
Yeah, it was 32 years
Out
ago.
of all the musicals I could have done, it was my favorite ever. Growing up and watching it, and
It's a good show.
it's such a great show,
Great
and
to be
an
part of.
honor to to follow in your footsteps.
Yeah. Well, talking of musicals, Ben, I came to see, quite surprisingly, a musical that you'd written at the Other Palace, a sort of tryout theatre for the West End in London, of Eugenius.
Yeah.
It's called this music. And I had one of the best nights in the theatre. It was lovely. So tell us about this musical.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've always loved musicals.
Well, you're touring Footloose. You've been touring
And I'm
with
with Flashdance. Don't worry, everyone gets it wrong.
Oh,
My
I'm
mum
so
still
sorry.
calls me and says, "How's Footloose?" I go, "I don't know." Do Flashdance. So it's, like, it's fine. You say that. But no, I've always loved musicals. I go and see everything. And my friend and I, who's a script writer, would always come away from musicals and sort of discuss about what we would do differently if we were to have written it. And we thought, well, let's not just keep wishing that we, were watching different musicals. Let's write one ourselves. So we went to the pub in Clapham and had lots of beer and went home and thought, right, let's start one now. And that's why it's quite crazy and bonkers, and I think you can probably vouch for that fact.
Here's the thing, because I'm a superhero nerd.
Right.
I collect graphic novels. I go to all of them. I love a superhero, and that's the basis. The people, they're superhero nerds.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's about a young guy from America who writes comic books, and it's all about superheroes. And his superhero comic books come to earth and come to life, and it all just goes absolutely bonkers. But it really is like the best time. I think a lot of Chris was saying it's the best 2 hours you could possibly think of in a theatre.
It's great. It's great fun,
and it's going back on again. So
that's right. Yeah. So
on the 1st of September, it opens back at the Other Palace, and I think with one of the only shows that have ever been invited back because it did so well the first time round. So we're absolutely buzzing about that, and
and here's the thing. New talent is the lifeblood of the theatre, and for you to be writing a new musical and for it to be working, I'm so pleased and proud for you.
Thank you.
It really is
Appreciate
great.
that.
So if you get a chance, go and see that, the Other Palace. And also, boys, I can't wait to hear new stuff. Can't wait for you to be back doing this properly when it's officially announced. Because we'll keep it just between us.
Yeah, absolutely. No one knows.
No one needs to know.
Thanks for not telling anyone.
I do want to apologise to all the UK fans because they've been getting on at us on Twitter and social media saying that you keep announcing all these Asian dates and stuff, and don't forget us. We haven't. We just want to say we absolutely love and truly appreciate all your support over the years.
I was wondering what you're going to apologise for.
I'm not going to apologise.
Sorry. Everyone enjoyed themselves. So it's lovely to do, and nice to have you back.
Thank you very much.
Bad
It's great to be
time
back.
as well, yeah. Look after him, won't you?
Oh, we will.
Oh no, things are going very well. Ben just pinched his bum, so I think it's all going very well.
Absolutely. We're rebonding.
That's how it all started, I heard. Good boy. What are you going to sing for us?
Well, we're going to do another Norwegian thing because
You're overtaking the
I'm
whole thing.
taking over the Norwegians. I'm telling you. But we did back in the day. Our manager was asking, we need to do a cover of something. He said, "Did any Norwegian bands ever make it big?" And obviously, there's Aha.
Yeah.
It was only really Aha back then.
And Lord.
And so we did our first ever cover. It was a song called "Take on Me."
That was beautiful.
And,
And actually, you outsung them, didn't you?
I know.
You
And
got to number one with it.
Yeah, Aha was only number 2 with it in the UK. So we brought it where it belongs at number 1.
It's a great song, and you do it. Those notes at the end, fabulous. Good luck.
Those notes, they're really tricky. Good luck. Thanks.
No, they are.
Yeah, no, it's quite high, isn't it?
Yeah,
Feel free to jump in.
Not a chance on this earth. Enjoy. Thanks for being here, boys.
Thanks.
We hope you're all going to join in at home.
Talking away. I don't know what I have to say. I'll say it anyway. Today's another day to find you. Shine away. I'll be coming for your love, okay? Take on me. Take on me. Take on me. I'll be gone. take me on. I'll be gone if you don't do. Things that you say, yeah, is it life for just to play my worries away? All the things I got to remember shine away. I'll be coming for you anyway. Take on me. Oh, take me on. I'll be gone if you don't do. On me,
Blimey!
Yeah.
You don't get many of them to the pound, do you?
Apologies to people at home that are still asleep. I just remembered it is Sunday and I'm screaming down their radios.
I don't think it was screaming. It was very, very beautifully controlled, actually. Then no,
Thank
that
you.
sounded smashing. Best of luck with the recording this afternoon, and look forward to hearing the new stuff.
Thank you. Amazing.
You're welcome back anytime.